Hi, I'm Vivian the Knitter.
And I'm Alyson the Crocheter, and this is the Keep Calm and Carry Yarn podcast.
Thank you so much for joining us for episode 116 of Keep Calm and Carry Yarn, a knitting and crocheting podcast brought to you by me, Vivian, and my daughter, Alyson. I'm recording from my home here in Michigan.
And I'm recording from Scotland. You might know me as the publisher of Moorit, the independent crochet magazine. And my mom is the amazing maker behind Pearl and Plum, where she makes and sells project bags for knitters and crocheters. Thank you so much for joining us, whether you're listening on a podcast app or watching along on YouTube. Hi, everyone.
Hi, everybody.
We are back in our respective homes.
Yes, we are home now.
Yes.
Nothing going on here. It's raining. It's yucky. But we're here to talk about our crafts.
Yeah, I was going to say, for any video viewers, I've got this real humdinger of a zit right next to my nose that I can feel.
I didn't notice it until you pointed it out.
Anyway, that aside, everything is pretty good. Yeah.
So you've all recovered from our whirlwind trip to Amsterdam?
Yeah, that honestly feels like it was weeks ago now.
Well,
was it weeks ago?
It was 2 weeks ago.
I've been very busy with a lot of different things, including getting the latest issue of Moorit out the door, which is open for pre-orders now, and it's due to be, as of recording, the physical copies delivered tomorrow.
Oh, so exciting! I'm really looking forward to this one because the colors are like they really speak to me. They definitely cool. My colors. Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I'll do a little issue 4 preview later on in the episode. I've got all the samples next to me. Just show them off, watch them move rather than just the still pictures. Although they are beautiful pictures, of course. Photos, and will we talk about our whips before we get to that?
Yeah, sure. Do you want to go first? Do you want me to go?
I can go.
You go.
So we'll wrap this up into Archive KCAL. So the Archive KCAL is now live. A few people have posted on Instagram already and on Ravelry to let us know what projects they're working on. I am doing. Oh, I wrote notes. Where are my notes? A bit of amigurumi. It's been a while since I've done that. I am making Bonny Puffin, which is one of the Pica Pau patterns, Animal Friends of Pica Pau by Jan Schenkel. And she, I think, has done 3 books of these little animal friends. And they're so cute. I just really like the way she designs her animal. You know, they're kind of like teddy bear style in that they're like,
go like this.
Person shaped. Yeah, but different animals. And I really like the cheetah in the first book. She's wearing like a little like jumper dress sort of thing. But anyways, I'm making the puffin because I favorited the puffin. I saw it a long time ago, and I don't have very much. I have a beak, which kind of looks like the top of a pencil, like an eraser in metal, and then the start of the pencil, the start of the yellow. And the very, very top of the head, which is just a circle at the moment. So that's the top of the head. And then a bit of the off-white will be introduced for her face. And then the body kind of has a cute little tail. And part of what the Pica Pau animals, they usually have something extra, whether it's like a piece of clothing. I think the pig has a little swim floaties. Yeah, and but sometimes they're like add-ons where you put them on like a hat. The puffin has a hat, and sometimes they're just crocheted as color work right onto the animal. So the puffin has almost sort of like a cowl, but it's not a separate piece. It's just you just do it as part of the neck. And then I bought enough yarn, so I'm just using Rico Rumi DK. And they come in such cute little balls, these like little 25 gram balls. And so
are they cotton?
Obviously. Yep, they're cotton. I mean, this is the kind of crazy I am, and they come in lots of different colors. I think I got them from Wool Warehouse, but a few of the colors were out of stock. So the yellow wasn't quite what I wanted. It's more of like a macaroni, like it's a little orangey.
Like the blue box mac and cheese.
Yeah. Kraft macaroni and cheese.
Yeah.
And the coral for the beak and for the feet, I got two, and they look nearly identical, but they are different. Yeah. One is slightly darker. Uh-huh. I'm using the lighter one. I couldn't decide. Looking at them now, I'm like, wouldn't have made any difference which one I would have gone for. But I got enough yarn, so she's gonna have a red hat, and either the macaroni and the white for the cowl, or the white and this sort of like blue. Ooh, sorry.
Isn't the body gonna be Isn't there a lot of white in the body?
There's not that much white in the body. The white is mostly in the face. It's just the face. The face is an off-white, and then the cowl, the face is this off-white, and then the cowl is like a pure white. So the pure white with either the macaroni or the pure white with, I haven't decided, with this sort of like bluish gray, and then the hat is red, the wine sort of red. But I'm also gonna make the otter. So I've got some browns for the otter, and the otter's friend is Moorit Sea Otter. And because I kind of figured, I mean, there's so many of them that are cute, like the cheetah that I mentioned, but I figured while I was making a puffin, I would make something else that you can find in Scotland, so I went with the otter. And each of the animals has a little, like, description about the character. So for Bonny Puffin, I didn't even realize, it said, just like one of her best friends, Moorit Sea Otter, Bonny was born by the sea and only leaves her islands to sail. And then there's more about them sailing to Greenland and then wanting to go to the Caribbean for somewhere warmer. That's really sailing. Cute. So those are the two.
You can make your own little storybook.
Yeah, but that's all I've got at the moment. So I've got that as my Archive KCAL whip. I've got another whip, but do you want to talk about your Archive KCAL whip first?
Sure. My Archive KCAL is the hand-in-hand sweater and vest from my 2007 Interweave Knits magazine. Right. So this is how much I've gotten done so far.
Wow. Look at those cables.
Yeah, the cables. I am going to be sick and tired of cables by the time I am done with these two sweaters. But yeah, I'm having fun with it. Oh, now I know why my fingers are sore. Because I had made one of the cables was going the wrong way, so I dropped all the way down. And then picked it back up the correct way, and so like I was pushing it into this. Anyway, my needles are very pointy, and that's probably why my fingers were sore this morning. So this is the back.
Cable looks very fancy, like different threads of it.
I like it. It's a little hard to do to work on it at night, but I have my Outlight.
It's navy
because it's navy in color, so it's got a lot of cables. But
that sort of. Oh, I was just gonna say that. So that central cable looks like a cable, but the sort of, are they still cables? The ones next to it, they just kind of like, they're like wavy.
They're still considered cable. They just don't intertwine, but they just kind of go zigzagging to the left and then to the right and then to the left. So it's still a cable, and then there's these 1x1 cables over here that go all the way down to the rib. So they start down at the rib. I don't know if you can see.
So why do they look like they're almost like twisted or like textured?
The 1x1 cables?
The ones you were just talking about,
Yeah, because they don't. So a lot of times when it looks like a braid, it's because you're doing you're making the cables go the same direction at every whatever interval. But this particular cable, it alternates, so it doesn't like it doesn't go the same way. There are some mistakes, so I'm sure you can pick out. There are some mistakes in there that I didn't bother picking up. So I think because they alternate going to the left, going to the right, other way, they look more textured rather than something that looks like a braid that's twisting on itself. So yeah, it's like, I was like, oh, it's really small, but you know what's really stretchy.
Oh wow, yeah, very stretchy.
Yeah, so it'll fit him fine. Yeah, not a whole lot. This is the back, not a whole lot of progress, but it is very slow going because
it looks very impressive.
Thank you, because there's so many stinking cables. So I didn't start it on until the second, because I was still swatching. So last time I was like, oh wait, I only did the swatch in reverse stockinette, but then I read further. Oh wait, you're supposed to do like 3 sections of swatches, and the whole thing's supposed to be like 7.5 inches, or if you do all of it more, it's supposed to be 15 inches or something like that. So I did do that, and then I ended up having to go down 2 needle sizes to a 5. So I'm really a loose knitter. Yeah, and I think the pattern calls for either a 7 or an 8. I don't know what that is in millimeters.
Yeah. It is. Hold on. I bought some more knitting needles. Oh my gosh, who do I think I am? So I've got some. Let's see. What'd you say? It was
a 7 or an 8. I mean, I don't have my needle gauge on me.
A US 6 is 4 millimeters.
Okay. So then a 5 would be 3.5.
Maybe. 3.25 is a 3. So 3.75 maybe?
Oh, I guess it'll go to a quarter. Okay. Whatever it is, I'm using pretty small needles for a bulky weight yarn.
Is it? It's not actually a bulky yarn. Is it like an Aran or a worsted or something, or a DK?
It is. No. It is definitely. It's Knit Picks Swish Bulky.
What? Wow.
Not chunky, but bulky.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah.
Also, bulky and chunky, I feel like there's no reason why one should be bigger than the other. Like, there's nothing within those words, at least to me, that's like, oh yeah, chunky is obviously thicker than bulky. They sound the same.
Yeah. I think chunky sounds bigger than bulky.
I think you could argue either way.
Okay.
Anyway.
So that's my Archive KCAL. What?
I was going to say, it's funny you said that you only started on the 2nd. Because I only started this a couple days ago, even though I've had the yarn for days. And it has been sitting in my hallway unopened for days. That's how busy I've been. I didn't even open my yarn as soon as I got it. There's just been so many other things happening. And finally, a couple days ago, I was like, oh my gosh, I need to start my project. Opened the yarn. And then there was more yarn in it that I'd forgotten I had ordered. I was like, oh yeah. That was something else. Anyway.
Yay. Yarn. So, do you have any other whips?
I do. So I've still got my South Shore cardigan, which is the knitted cardigan in my off-white. There's not really that much to say, except I think I posted on Instagram, but I haven't mentioned on the podcast, that I tried it on, and I tried it on. And I was like,
you already told me.
Yeah, it's the length is fine, but I hadn't done any of the ribbing really. I'd only done like 2 rows of it. And that was going to add an extra... It says to do ribbing 3 inches. I don't know if I'm going to do a full 3 inches, but that extra 3 inches would have made the cardigan longer than what I would have wanted it to be. I even tried it on with 2 different pairs of pants just to be like, oh, where would it come to? Because most of my pants at the moment are slightly more high-waisted. So it's not that I want a cropped cardigan, but I want it to sort of hit around just under my waist as opposed to down to my hips. So I took out 24 rows or something like that. Yeah, that was sad. But the only thing is, so there's supposed to be pockets on the front. And I had done the whatever technique to do the pockets. I don't even know. I put...
The waist yarn?
Yeah. Or I didn't put it on waist yarn. I put it on another set of cables.
Okay.
But yeah, and then knit it through the back loop and so I had done that. So before I decided to frog it or to rip it to rip it back.
Oh no.
Which was fine, but because I kind of like that because it meant that I knew how to do it and what I was doing. I had to like watch the video. But now because I'm short and I'm making it shorter, I'm not going to do pockets because otherwise I feel like the pockets would be literally just under my boobs. Like it would just look, the proportions aren't right anymore. So I'm not going to do the pockets.
So did you rip it out to where the cables where you had the...
No, I had to rip it out past that. Because that was at the bottom of the pockets. So the pretty much start...
bottom of the pockets. Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
so it had you... Yeah, it didn't have you make a hole. It has you work to the bottom of the pocket, like where the pockets will be. Put your stitches as your... I don't know if I'm doing...
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I know.
Put
yeah, so because the ones
table.
like I've done like afterthought pockets where you start at the top of the pockets and then you kind of like make this pocket and it pulls, like you can pull it outside and then you tuck it back in.
Yeah, no, it's like an extra flap of that you would have done at the end. So
and then you tack it. Part. It's not like
yeah, it's just sewn down.
Yeah, okay.
I assume, I didn't actually read it, but I assumed the sides would have to be sewn down. Once you got so I'd only gotten as far as saving the loops to then work the pocket. Anyway, so no pockets, and so I think that's really all I have to say about that. But it's kind of just on the back burner at the moment while I work on my puffin.
I have I have been working on my pop blanket, but I didn't bring it because it looks the same. It's just more squares, more blocks.
Yeah.
I've been working on my Folklore Cardigan, and I have started the V decreases for the V neck. Ooh. So that's it. I've only done 2 decreases so far. So, so this is how much. So
I feel like at the moment, cables are your new color work.
I know. I was like, I'm getting tired of cables. I want to do something in color work. So I have to decide. I think I figured out where to start splitting for the armhole. And I figured if I split it down lower than... I think it's better than splitting it too high because I can always sew it shut.
Okay. So there's no stitches under the armhole.
No, because it's pretty much it goes straight down. There's no like.
Oh, because it's a piece. It's front and back panels originally, but you're doing it in the round.
Yeah, and then that part of it is straight down. It's there's no like armhole shaping. Right. So maybe I'll finish this by the end of the year. Though I mean the sleeves are done, so at least I have that. I did the sleeves first because that was like my swatch was the sleeves.
Right. Yeah. Not bad.
Yeah.
I like the color of that. Neutral.
Yeah, it's very neutral. Yep. And then like the other sweater that I have like in the queue is also a cabled sweater.
Oh, is that for me?
Yeah. So you might have to wait until next year.
Okay. I'll wait.
I'll have to have a few like palette cleansing projects.
That's fair.
Yeah. So that's that. BuzzFeed quiz?
Yeah, sure.
Let's see. Where is my BuzzFeed quiz? Oh, here we go.
it says...
You know what?
make
It's getting
some
really...
pa-
It's
What?
getting harder and harder to pick.
Find good BuzzFeed quizzes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's getting really hard.
Maybe we'll have to ditch the section one day. On our
One day.
next podiversary, we'll have a big farewell BuzzFeed quiz.
Well, you know, our pod anniversary, our 6th one was just like a couple days ago. We just had one. Hey, happy 6-year pod anniversary.
I don't know why, but just today when you were doing the intro, I was just looking at you and just thinking, that's my mom doing a podcast.
Yes, I am.
Anyway. So our BuzzFeed quiz is make some pasta and we'll reveal your perfect Italian vacation destination.
So you'll have to tell me, because I know you've been going to Italy like every year for the past 3 years.
2 years.
But well, it'll be 3 years this year.
Yeah.
What'd you get?
I got Naples. You should go to Naples. This city is known for its pizza, so you'll definitely want to grab a slice while you're there. There are also tons of unique markets to check out. Did you also get Naples? You laughed.
Yes, I did. Have you been to Naples?
I have only very briefly been to Naples. I flew into Naples to go to Sorrento and the Amalfi Coast. So it was, I had a coffee in Naples by the central station. That's where I had a old coworker who is Canadian and lived in Edinburgh. That's we worked together in Edinburgh. She moved back to Canada, and then she's now moved back to Paris. But before she did that, she was traveling around Italy and Greece and stuff. And I saw on her Instagram stories that she was in Sorrento, and I was going to be in Sorrento the next week. And so I messaged her to say, "Are you going to be there in a week?" And she's like, "Oh no, but I'll be in Naples by then." I was like, "Wait, I'm flying into Naples and then getting the train from Naples," and that was her last day there. So we managed to just grab coffee before we got the train.
Oh, nice. That was fortuitous.
Yes, very much so.
Okay,
yes.
It says...
But I will say I eat much more pasta when I go to Italy than pizza. Regardless of the destination, whether that area is known for pizza or pasta. Half of the pasta in here are fresh pasta, not dried, so... The pictures.
Yeah, the pictures. I go by the pictures, not necessarily what it says.
Okay, so what pasta did you pick then?
I picked the linguine.
Okay, I also picked the linguine.
Okay. Though the ravioli and the tortellini, I usually don't even like spaghetti because I don't like skinny noodles, but it's fresh, so it looked good.
I've never had fresh spaghetti.
I've never either, but then it's kind of close to having our Chinese fresh noodles. Chinese fresh noodles that are skinny.
Yeah.
That's what I equate it to.
Is it weird that tortellini is fine, but I prefer ravioli over tortellini? They basically the same thing. Why would that be?
I think there's more stuffing in ravioli than tortellini.
I guess, but normally I like the skin. That's more of a dumpling term. But
when you and Emily were little, and you would have either dumplings or baozi, you would eat the outside. You'd eat the skin, and she'd eat the meat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now she's vegan, so she doesn't eat the meat anymore.
Skin only. Okay. And then what about the sauce?
I picked the pesto. I almost picked the Alfredo, but I was like, that's going to give me a tummy ache, so I picked the pesto. Even though the pesto will probably give me a tummy ache too, but I'll just take lots of lactate. What'd you pick?
I picked the ragu, but probably second up would be carbonara. But I did have an amazing pesto pasta when I was in...
you're making me hungry.
Monte Rosso, maybe? But, yeah, it was very good.
Okay.
But I'm just going to go straight down to the side dishes, because the side dish that I wanted wasn't there. I don't know if it counts as a side dish, but...
What did you want as a side dish?
I wanted calamari as more of an appetizer than a side dish.
I thought you were going to say that. But what would you pick?
I picked garlic bread.
Oh, me too. I wonder why we got the same thing.
Yeah. Also, mashed potatoes was one of the options. And who eats mashed potatoes with, like, pasta? That's weird, right? I mean, okay,
I think it's weird.
If you, anybody out there, if you eat mashed potato with pasta, you do you. But I've never heard that being.
We've never done that before. Yeah.
No.
I was gonna say that's carb in carbs, but so is the
garlic bread. Yeah. Your options were fries, garlic bread, and bread rolls as carbs on carbs. I almost picked salad, and I was like, no, never mind.
That's kind of funny because I was thinking the same thing, like, oh, salad. But then I'm like, this is just like an imaginary meal. It doesn't matter. I don't have to have all 4 food groups. I'm just going to go for what I want. And I wanted the garlic bread. And it looked good, too. I'm getting really hungry.
Your beverage. What did you pick for your beverage?
I picked a glass of wine.
So did I. Okay, that's why we both got the same thing.
Because we're the same person.
Yeah, I could be tempted by some champagne. A bit fancy.
Mm-hmm. There's a cocktail, too.
Yeah.
Coffee's good, too, depending on what time of day I'm having my pasta.
Yeah,
because I can't have coffee at night.
Huh? I'd have that after the pasta, though, I feel like.
So that is that. So you should go to Naples next time. Are you going to Naples?
No, I'm going to Lake Como.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any FOs?
No.
I have FOs. I have one FO. I don't have any. I forgot about it last time we were recording because I had already given it away. And usually I do my notes and my BuzzFeed quiz on my iPad. But I can't because it died. The one iPad died. So now I'm one device less. So I can't really show it to you anymore. So maybe I'll just post a little picture down on the bottom. But it is the Clinton Creek hat by Irina Anakiva from Interweave Knits 2017. And it is, she's the same designer as the one that did the December hat that I've done before. That was also in the calendar of hats that those free patterns, and it has it's more cables. The brim is cabled, and it's a folded brim, and then so you knit the cables. But then after you're done with the cables, you do like a purl row, and then you knit the rest of the hat inside out, or in reverse stockinette. But I wasn't sure that I would have enough yarn because I was just using the rest of my frog tree alpaca, and I held it double because I was just trying to. I've had that yarn for God knows how long. I was just trying to use up the rest of it. So I ended up not doing the double brim, but just the cable and the rib cable, whatever you want to call it, up to a certain period length, and then I knit the rest. And that's what I did. So picture will be here, and it's a white hat, and I gave it to Jillian. So Madeline took it to Boston on her way to school and dropped it off. Nice. That's my only FO, and that's why I'm getting tired of cables.
Yeah, you're really going for it.
Yep. And I'm assuming you don't have any FOs.
No, I said I didn't. But in lieu of FOs, my magazine's like my FO for the moment.
It is your FO, yeah. And we have a big Yarny Bits and Bobs. Your magazine.
Okay, that could be our Yarny Bits and Bobs, yeah. So if we were recording tomorrow, I could probably show you the issue, but we'll save that for the next issue. I'll show you the actual...
the next episode.
What did I say?
You said the next issue. Save it for the next issue.
Yeah. Do you know what? Sam does the same thing sometimes. He'll talk about the magazine and call it an episode. I'm like, no, issue. It's like, oh, no. It's like one of those things that you do. Anyway.
Yeah, but by the time this comes out, our episode comes out, the magazine will be out.
Well, the magazine's already available for pre-order, but by the time the next episode comes out, no, because okay, I'll put it up right. I should probably say. So it's available for pre-order, print and digital, or just digital only. Also subscriptions for 4 and 5 together, which saves you 10%. And again, you can do that for print and digital or digital only. And the official on sale date is the 28th of March, so it's the end of March.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, okay.
So there's still, lots of time to get your pre-order in before they ship. And obviously pre-orders ship before everything else. So, pieces. Let's see what we've got. And this will test me on, I feel like at the moment with 4 issues, I pretty much know, I can see a sample, I know the pattern name, I know the designer, probably know the yarn that was used, or at least the brand of the yarn company, dye or whatever. At some point, things are going to start slipping. I don't know at what point that is, but I think I've got things in hand. So this one is by Stephanie Aaron.
Oh, that's beautiful.
It's a long sleeve, lightweight sweater, and it's beaded. And so she's done the beads in sort of almost like a diamond or a flower configuration with 4 on the outside and 1 in the middle. And then the one in the middle, she's done in different, like, bright, almost neon colors. So it's like purple, pink, green, yellow, orange, blue, and then silver ones around. And so the whole thing is beaded.
And it's very drapey. I've touched all of the samples.
Because my mom helped at the photo shoot. That was just in
September.
Accident, just a coincidence. That she was here for the photo shoot, so she was a big help. And it's quite weighty because of the beads, but also the fabric is
very drapey. Yeah, I was the costume mistress, is what I was. I did the quick change. In public.
So this one's called Tian Tian. Because, so a lot of the provisional names for this issue, because I probably have mentioned the theme is sweet shop. A lot of the provisional names had the word sweet in it. It's like I could only have so many patterns in the one issue with the word sweet in it. It just starts to get confusing. So
Tian as in sweet. Tian.
Tian. Yeah, Tian Tian. So that's Chinese. Obviously, Stephanie is not Chinese, but I named it, so I was like, that's the name.
Tough boogies.
Well, no, she was like, is that okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm naming it, and like, that's fine. So that's that one. This is our cover star. This is Zani. And oh gosh, this one's by Mary Beth Cryan, I think. And it's got a mesh. It's like a t-shirt shape, almost exactly. It's got mesh at the top and then scallops all at the bottom in stripes of purple and yellow. And this one is is in a Pima cotton, I think, but it's so soft and so drapey, and a really nice sort of summer top. That's that one. I've got a wee beret. This is Bubble Lucky.
So cute.
And it has sort of these like popcorn bobble stitches that go in like a big swirl at the top. And I mean, I don't wear berets at all, but it is cute. I never really know how to wear it. There, a beret. And this one's by Veggie Jokin. Apologies, I don't know how to pronounce everybody's name, but the beret. And I think we've done that one in an Erica Knight cotton. Let's see. Here we've got Kiri.
Oh, I love that one.
I think this is... I don't want to play favorites, but this is definitely one of my favorites. Like,
even though it has so much color in it.
Even though it has so much color, this is one of the ones that I personally am like, I want that in my closet. I mean, obviously, I probably wouldn't make it in pink. But yeah, it's got a circular yoke, and like the yoke has different techniques.
Bubbles?
So it's got some bubbles, it's got like a sort of cord, and then these perpendicular
vertical stripes
is mosaic crochet, as well as these sort of rectangles. And I just also really liked the colors that Sonia Torner, the colors that she picked were just really nice straight off the bat. I was like, yes, her proposed colors. I just said, let's go with that because I like it. So the main pink body, and then she's got like might be hard to see, but a very light mint and a yellow.
You can see that, yeah.
Gray, pink, white. So that's just sort of a short sleeve top. And again in a cotton. I think that's a Rowan cotton. Another top. So there's 8 tops in this issue, and they're all very colorful. And despite that, I do love them all. And I think this is the issue out of all 4 issues. This one, when I had all the pieces together, I was like, ooh, that's a collection. It just felt really cohesive to me. And
yeah,
so
I'm really
this
loving
top
all
I
the
also
colors.
really like as well. It's a striped top, and it's got a sort of fringe of little hearts at the bottom, or as the Brits say, love hearts.
Love hearts?
Love hearts, yeah. That's how they describe the actual shape of a heart. Like,
oh, okay.
Not because it's not a literal heart, you know, like straight out of your chest. It's a love heart. But yeah, this one's by Joanne Fowler, and it's got sort of a crab stitch. I'm not sure if it's a crab stitch or a fake crab stitch edge along the neckline and the cuffs in a different color, which is nice. And she's also done her pattern in an interesting way. So she's got essentially 3 versions with no shaping, a little bit of bust shaping, or extra bust shaping.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so to accommodate for your bust. So yeah, there's that.
Very cool.
And we have a couple, but just the one pattern. These One Skein Project scarves. And yeah, they are. And this one is by memory. Oh crap! I know this. I feel like this is a pop quiz, and I'm failing too many names to keep track of. But the the name of the pattern is Slice of Life, and this was the original one the designer had made. It's sort of like citrusy colors, and so she kind of imagined the holes as sort of like seeds in like a orange segment, you know. I can kind of see that.
Yeah.
And then we made a second one in a sort of candy color, pinks and oranges. So yeah, it's because it's a One Skein project, and we've done them in. I haven't had a lot of sort of speckled or variegated yarn in the magazine so far, but I feel like this works really nice in that kind of yarn. So these are both hand-dyed yarns by different dyers. One is Plink and Stella, and one is Brazen Harmony, I think. And now I'm gonna have to check the designer name because I feel bad.
It's gonna drive you crazy too if you know.
It's gonna drive me crazy. But I'm like, come on, I can do it. It is Connie Lee Lynch. She's based in the States.
Oh, okay.
And then we have another shawl. This is Fragaria. It's a triangular shawl. It's very big. So it's like a 2-tone. It's pink, sort of solid stitch, and then more of a mesh stitch with a fancy lace edging that's kind of supposed to represent like strawberries. And that's by Andrea Cretu. Again, don't know how to pronounce her last name, sorry. And it's a very nice big shawl. And that one was inspired by strawberry shortcake.
Oh.
Yeah. And then I think the last three I have are all by designers that have designed for Moorit before, as has Stephanie, the beaded top.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got La Critzy, which is a short sleeve top. It's got some waist shaping. It's got a nice little like retro stand up collar, and it's supposed to look like licorice all sorts, which we do not have back home. Also,
no.
I don't like licorice, but the actual candies are super cute. So it's got black and white stripes at the bottom of the top, and then it's yellow at the top.
Super cute.
It is very cute. And actually, speaking of licorice all sorts, the other project, the non-crochet project, is punch needle coasters.
Oh, yeah.
By Lucy Rowan, who her business is called Peas and Needles, and we because my mom was with me. We met her when we were vending at Sweater Weather,
yep.
which I think is now called Unravel Autumn.
Oh, okay.
But anyways, so she has designed a set of punch needle coasters, and again, these are kind of licorice all sorts colors and shapes, squares and circles.
Yeah, those are really cute. Yeah, that was totally my idea.
Yes, you were like, oh, you should message Lucy. So this one, that was by, the Lucrezzi top was by Inez Rogers.
Okay.
And then Aline, who also designed the vest in the first issue, has done this top. And this is laker, which is the Swedish word for delicious, so therefore I'm probably pronouncing very wrong. It's got like the umlauts, the dots over the A. And so she's done it in like a very textured stitch, which is nice. But then there's a big color blocked stripe at the bottom and the sleeves in 3 different colors, so it's asymmetrical from a color point of view, but not from a shape point of view. And the sleeves are like wide, not quite flutter sleeves, but getting there. And she's done that. She's done the sleeves with some of it is with the same yarn as the main body, but it's alternating rows of that yarn plus a mohair silk held double. So it's not all mohair silk, so otherwise I think if every row had been mohair silk, it would have been quite transparent. But because she alternates it with the singles, the merino singles, it's not too transparent. But it still has a little bit of a halo and a little bit of a different texture. So that one's fun. Rosina Northcott, aka Zines and Roger, has done this jumper sweater. This is Millis, and this is, people who are familiar with her designs might know her mixtape melody blanket. And so this is basically based off of that blanket, but she's turned it into a sweater. We've used Garthenner yarn, which is really nice. It's again very drapey.
Yeah, then somebody on Instagram has said, "Oh, I knew it was that." Well, as soon as they saw it, they knew it was a Rosina design. So I thought that was funny.
Yeah. So yeah, the body of it has a bit of like checkerboard color work. It's got some baubles. It has some C to C diagonal stripes. Got some more stripes on the sleeves, the different colors, different orientations, more baubles. So yeah, it's fun. It's like I feel like you could have done a jumper that had, all these different motifs all on it, but she's done a neutral color for the main body, so it's sort of like accents of zaniness.
Just accents.
The last one is a Tunisian tank top, and it's done with a knit stitch, so it does look like it could be knitted, but it's not. And this is by Smitha Krasta. She's based in India.
Cool.
And Yeah, I think this was just a really well considered top. Like, it's got sort of like a keyhole back with a button, the V-neck, the sleeves are, nice and rounded and shaped. And then it's got a cute little bow detail at the bottom, which I suppose if you didn't want it, you could just not do the bow at the bottom.
I do really like the little bobbles.
Yeah, and then the baubles, which we did in a hot pink, they're added at the end, so you can kind of place them wherever you want. We've just done them on the front, but if you wanted to, you could do them on the back as well. And that's called Puffin. And that's everything. So that's 11 designs, and plus the coaster, and then we also have a article by Faye, aka. She used to do the Crochet Circle podcast, and she's written about the new generation of British woolen mill owners. And so she covers John Arbin and Garth Enner, as well as New Lanark in Scotland. So
nice.
That's everything that's in the magazine. I feel like I talk a lot. I need tea.
It's I love this issue. Not that I didn't love the other issues, but I love all the colors and the backdrop that you picked. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, no, the photo shoot was fun. So we found these like legal graffiti walls in Edinburgh. They're in Leith, and they're just on these hoardings around what will be a construction site, I assume. So different graffiti artists have been painting various things, so we just did our photos in front of that because it was nice and colorful. I toyed around like with the idea of trying to find like some sort of retro sweet shop to see if we could film shoot there, but I thought maybe that was too literal, and I kind of liked the idea of having the colorful background.
And
anyway.
Yeah, and also the natural light too outside.
Being outside.
Well, it did make it wasn't warm.
No, it wasn't warm. But it wasn't as cold as when we did the last spring summer issue, I will say that.
Because you did that at the beach.
We did that at the beach in November.
Yeah.
So a couple months.
And then also like the whole changing in public.
Yeah.
Was a little challenging.
More out in the open than on the beach.
Yeah.
The beach is a bit more secluded.
Yeah. But we did it. You did it. They did it. Everything turned out great.
Did it.
Yay.
And yeah, I do think like having this really colorful issue, I guess it hasn't been that challenging to me because it's like how I'm always really drawn to like colorful yarns, and then even when I buy it, I'm like, oh no, what am I gonna do with it?
You just don't like to wear it. Yeah, you don't.
I just don't like to wear it. Yeah,
so
yeah. So I got to embrace that side of me that normally I don't let out very often because I'm like, well, I'm not gonna wear that. So yeah, a lot of these things I'm like, oh, I would wear that, but in a different color. Whereas with previous issues, they were more like my color scheme as well as everything else. But I know that's not for everybody. Like, I know.
Yeah, it's good to go outside of your own comfort level every once in a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Cool. So, do you have any shop talk for us?
I do. So, I have been sewing a lot, and. So, I bought a couple of new fabrics, and so here's one fabric that has
little pigs.
They're little pigs, and it's like a farm scene with sheep, and it's very sweet, on a blue background. There's even a tractor back here, and then the other fabric. So there's I made a couple of the Emily small sizes and the Alyson mediums. And hang on, sorry. Ooh. Oh, don't fall down. And this fabric, they are knitting spool dolls on a pink fabric, and they're
all very specific.
Yeah, all the spool dolls are like, there's a king, there's a little Japanese
Soldier.
doll, there's a soldier, they're just really cute. And there's a mushroom.
But I meant like the actual. Those are used to make like cords. Is that what they're?
Yeah, make eye cords.
Yeah, but like it's just a very specific illustration.
Yeah, I know. When I saw it, it's like, oh, I have to buy that. And then
Do you think anybody buys that fabric not realizing that's what they are?
I think if anybody that's drawn to it would know, because it's got balls of yarn on it too.
Oh yeah, it's got the yarns on it. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And here's
I like the top fabric as well.
Yeah, that's I didn't buy them. I don't even remember where. To tell you the truth, I don't know where I bought either. I probably got it at fabric.com before they went out of business, because they were set aside and I just in a plastic bag that I never even opened. And here's the Alyson version of the
farm animals.
So yeah, those are what I've been working on. And then there's some other like favorites that I've sold out on that I've added to the shop. So yeah, the shop is Pearl and Plum.
On Etsy.
.etsy.com. At Etsy.etsy.com. Don't even know.
Yeah.
So get them while they're hot. Fresh off of the sewing press, whatever. Don't know what I'm saying. So that's all I have.
Yeah. Well, we say goodbye then.
Yeah, sure.
I guess just one last plug for the Archive KCAL. Use hashtag Archive KCAL 2023 because that's the year it is.
Yeah, it is.
Just to share along. And actually, I've got one more announcement, which is that I am going to be vending at the Scottish Wool Producers Showcase in Perth at the end of March. Tickets are now on sale, so if you're going to be in the area, I'll be there, and I will be there with issue 4.
Yay!
So a few days before the official on sale date, so you can pick up a copy there and not pay for shipping and get it a few days early.
Yeah, and coincidentally,
I'll be there too. Yeah. Honestly, you are such a jet setter.
We didn't even plan it this way. It just happened.
No.
You picked the wrong week or the right week, wherever you want to.
Yeah. Honestly, I hadn't connected the dots, and then had posted something on Instagram to say that we were going to be there, and you called me to say, isn't that the weekend I'm going to be there? Oh, yeah.
It'll be fun.
So, yeah, come say hi to both of us.
Yeah. I was like, dang it. Could it, I mean, it would have been nicer if it was somewhere I haven't been.
But you were at Perth at the end of last year. So,
yeah. We'll be there again.
Cool. Okay. Well,
yeah. Do your spiel.
Yeah, for this episode and every episode on our website, which is kcacypodcast.wordpress.com. You can follow us on Instagram also at kcacypodcast. My personal Instagram is Alyson here, and my mom's is upstate_Viv. You can subscribe and like and rate and comment and favorite and review the podcast on iTunes or wherever else you listen to podcasts, or you can also watch along on YouTube. You can join the Ravelry group if you wish. Just search for Keep Calm and Carry Yarn podcast on the groups tabs, and we've got a archive count thread there if you are on Instagram or would like to participate that way instead. So thank you for listening.
And remember to keep calm and carry yarn. Bye.
Bye.